Published, 7:32 EST, March 6, 2019. Updated, 17:52 EST, March 6, 2019. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge have spent the day in Blackpool visiting a series of innovative projects focused on investment and regeneration, as well as learning how the resort is tackling some of the social and mental health problems faced by people in Britain today. Kate, 37, looked elegant as she kicked off her visit to the iconic seaside town alongside William, 36, with a visit to the iconic Blackpool Tower. The royal couple took part in a briefing about the town's recent history, the challenges, and the investment and regeneration efforts that are currently underway. Kate cut an elegant figure in the rain, opting for an olive £940 sports max coat, a £225 Michael Kors pattern peacock dress, and accessorized with a recycled £435 green Manu Atelier bag and black knee-high boots. The pair, sheltering under large black umbrellas, were greeted at the landmark amid the downpours with cheers from a crowd of several hundred well-wishers gathered outside on the promenade, including youngsters who charmed Kate with bunches of flowers. As one little girl shouted "Hello Princess," Kate waved and smiled, and she also promised locals she would bring her 3 children George, Charlotte and Louis along on her next visit. Scroll down for video. The Duchess cut an elegant figure in the rain, opting for an olive £940 sports max coat, a £225 Michael Kors pattern peacock dress, and a recycled green Manu Atelier bag, along with black knee-high boots. As she arrived in Blackpool on Tuesday, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were pictured speaking to children waiting in the crowds as they met members of the public on the promenade, as they visited a series of innovative projects that are focused on investment and regeneration. Practiced parents. As William chatted to children nearby, Kate was seen kneeling down to beam at a pair of young royal fans. Delighted Duchess. Kate received a personalized gift from well-wishers during a visit to Rivo Park in Blackpool. "Pleased to meet you." Kate paused to chat to well-wishers who presented her with bouquets during a walkabout at Rivo Park in Blackpool. Caring Kate. The doting mother looked delighted to meet a young royal fan who she fist-bumped while meeting locals who lined the streets of Blackpool despite the inclement weather. "It's Kate mania. It may have been raining, but that didn't stop locals lining up to catch a glimpse of the royal visitor, including one lucky little boy who got a high five from the Duchess." "Pleased to meet you." Kate was all smiles as she chatted to youngsters during her away date to Blackpool with Prince William, crouching down so she could speak to them at eye level. Kate was all smiles as she leaned in to accept a colorful bouquet of orange and flowers that a little girl handed out to her as she waited to meet the Duchess. The royal visitor, who was dressed for the miserable weather conditions in a dark green coat, was more than happy to engage in conversation as she thanked 2 children for handing over the flowers. Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, was seen beaming after receiving a gift of a wooden ornament with her name on it during her visit to Rivo Park in Blackpool on Tuesday. William and Kate were met by local dignitaries including the Mayor and Mayoress of Blackpool, Gary, and Debbie Coleman, as they stepped inside for a briefing about the town's investment and regeneration projects. Once inside the historic tower, Kate and William briefly stopped at a giant mirror unveiled by the Princess of Wales in July 1992 to mark the opening of Tower World, with the Duke describing it as fantastic and amazing. The couple were then treated to a brief glimpse of the world-famous Tower Ballroom, which is open to the public daily. From their balcony view, they watched dancers go through their strides in a waltz to "I Shall See You Later," played on the Wurlitzer by Chris Hopkins. The couple were pictured visiting a house on Cambri Road to see some of the deprived conditions that locals are living in. William and Kate walking with Lee Burrell, development director at Blackpool Housing Company, after visiting a house on Cambri Road in Blackpool. The royal couple looked solemn as they visited a house that had been trashed by graffiti on Cambri Road. The visit was designed to show that ongoing regeneration is desperately needed. Ever the gentleman. Prince William carried the umbrella so his wife could shelter from the rain, left. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arrived in Blackpool on Wednesday to visit a series of innovative projects focused on investment and regeneration, as well as learning how the resort is tackling some of the social and mental health problems faced by people in Britain. Today the Duke of Cambridge was presented with a personalised necklace with his initial W made by young people during a visit to Community Garden Rivo Park in Blackpool, proving her thrifty side. Kate recycled the £435 velvet and leather designer box bag she previously wore during a visit to Scotland in January and opted for the olive £940 Sports Max coat she has been seen wearing 3 times. Kate wore a £225 Michael Kors peacock button-up shirt dress which featured a classic collar and semi-sheer sleeves, falling just below the knees and making for a stylish appearance. The Duke and Duchess are seen at a round table discussing the various local projects. This will all be yours someday. The future king had the chance to sit on a wooden throne during a visit to Rivo Park in Blackpool. The pouring rain did not bother the couple, as they chose not to stand underneath the umbrellas being proffered by nearby aides. On a walkabout outside the tower as they visited the comedy carpet on the promenade, Kate told well-wishers she hoped to bring her children Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis to visit Blackpool next time. She joked, "Is the weather always like this?" The Duchess expressed her disappointment at not going up the tower. "No, we didn't. Next time I think. There's so much here the children would love as well. Hopey next time we'll bring them back." Meanwhile, the Duke recalled his fond memories of Blackpool on a stag do. Pat Hussain, 66, who had travelled down from Manchester, recalled, "He said he loved Blackpool and that he has been up and down the coast here when he was flying a helicopter. He said he had been here before for a stag party and that he had really enjoyed it." The royal couple were greeted by youngsters from Happy Tots Nursery, who gave them a posy, sticks of rock with their names running through it and some arts and crafts. These included a collage, a necklace of pictures, and a crown from a 4-year-old called Jasmine. William said his children would appreciate the rock. When he asked them what flavor the rock was, the youngsters replied, "Blackpool." In the lineup was 2-year-old Tommy, who became overwhelmed and had to be picked up by a staff member. His mother, Cassie, said, "He got all nervous and had to be picked up by one of the girls. He was so excited this morning and was practicing bows." Proving her thrifty side, Kate has previously been pictured wearing the wintry coat she wore today on 3 occasions, in 2015, 2016 and 2017. She injected a touch of glamour with £1,400 square-cut diamond and green amethyst earrings by Kiki McDonough. Wearing her hair in a relaxed ponytail, Kate shielded her hands against the cold with a pair of black gloves, which she matched with a woolly scarf. The Duchess cut an elegant figure in her ultra-coordinated green and black look. Cheryl Hole, who works for Better Start, was also in the lineup along with her 2-year-old daughter Felicia, who presented the Duchess with a posy. The Duke asked her name and how old she was. Nursery manager and owner Julie Bryan said, "The children have been busy all week making flags and crowns. We also made a poster of photographs of William and Kate, together with pictures of the children, which we presented to them. It was an amazing experience for everyone here and it is such a privilege to be part of it." They also presented a paper crown and garland to William. William kept it casual in a pair of navy blue trousers and matching blazer, layering a sweater with a pale shirt underneath as he waved at waiting crowds. Meanwhile, Andrea Bellamy, 31, had a moving conversation with the Duchess about mental health. She said, "I thanked her for everything she had done and told her that I had done a skydive for Place to Be where she is a patron. I told her how I had lost a close family member to suicide. She, the Duchess, said, 'It's so important to keep talking about it, and asked if I had support. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge continued their day with a visit to Blackpool Central Library, where they joined two separate discussions focusing on issues and initiatives of particular relevance to each of their ongoing charitable interests. The Duchess met with members involved in Blackpool's A Better Start charity program, including health visitors, practitioners from the Family Nurse Partnership, and parents. Kate accessorized with £1,400 square-cut diamond and green amethyst earrings by Kiki McDonough, which coordinated perfectly with her peacock print dress. The Duke and Duchess were pictured greeting local members of the community projects along with a soldier as they kicked off a busy day in the seaside town. Kate and William visited the town's famous ballroom, home to Strictly Come Dancing, and were seen watching from the balconies above as local residents took to the dance floor. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge waved at onlookers as they continued on to their next engagement, by which time the rain had stopped. Both Kate and William color-coordinated their ensembles, with the Duchess opting for an all-green ensemble while Prince William went for a navy blazer and coordinating trousers. Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, speaks to members of the public during a walkabout on March 6, 2019 in Blackpool shortly after the rain stopped. Meanwhile, William kept it casual in a pair of navy blue trousers and matching blazer, layering a sweater with a pale shirt underneath as he waved at waiting crowds. During the first session, William and Kate met teenage mum Chloe Roberts, 18, from Blackpool, and her mentor Lynn McKinnon, a family nurse supervisor in the town. Chloe found herself homeless after falling pregnant and was forced to live in hostels with her newborn son St. James last year. She said, "I don't know where I'd be without Lynn and the project." William added, "The story of Blackpool is a complex one of a proud history of testing times and newfound optimism for the future." The Duke of Cambridge told two recovering drug addicts he was so proud of you guys after they explained how an initiative in Blackpool helped get their lives back on track. Best friends Louise West, 34, and Stephen Brown, 40, who described themselves jokingly as the other Wills and Kate, met the royal couple during a visit to Blackpool Central Library, where they heard about a number of mental health projects in the town. One scheme was Jobs, Friends, and Houses, which helps ex-offenders to transform and better their lives with around-the-clock support to help them find employment and provide accommodation. Ms. West told William and Kate how she became addicted to drugs from the age of 13 but had not used for 2 years. She said she left Oldham, where she was a victim of domestic violence, to go to Blackpool near her mother. The Duchess was pictured shielding herself against the rain with a large umbrella as she hoisted her box bag underneath her arms to wave at the waiting crowds in Blackpool. Scene: Prince William, Duke of Cambridge, waves as he arrives in Blackpool ahead of a busy day in the seaside town, visiting a series of charities. Pictured, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge arriving at Blackpool Tower, where they will join a round-table briefing about the town's recent history and challenges. The Duchess, seen leaving the Blackpool Tower, will then join members involved in Blackpool's A Better Start charity program, including health visitors, practitioners from the Family Nurse Partnership, and parents. She said she was working on her recovery every day, but she had started to enjoy life and had even sat her GCSEs at the same time as her daughter. With her 17-year-old daughter at sixth form college, Ms. West said she would like to study psychology in the future. Ms. West told the couple, "Somebody said to me that meeting the royals would be one of the highlights of your life, but the highlight for me was recently when I dropped my daughter off at her friend's house and she asked me to come in and meet her friend's parents. That had never happened before. She was embarrassed to walk past me in the street in Oldham when I was 6.5 stone. Kate asked her, "What's your main message to people?" Ms. West replied, "Any addict can get clean and stay clean." Mr. Brown told the Duke and Duchess he used drugs from the age of 12, was in prison for the first time at 17 and had been in and out of prisons for 20 years. He said, "I was being a nightmare for the police if I'm honest, because I was a prolific offender in Blackpool. When I came out of prison I was put in hostels. Some of them are really rough and people are using in there. In 2009, my brother bought a bag of heroin. It was laced with anthrax and he died. I tried to commit suicide. I would commit crime when I got out of prison and would hurt my family. I didn't know people could get clean in Blackpool. The Duchess of Cambridge was presented with a bouquet of flowers during a walkabout on the rainy promenade, kneeling down to thank the little girls. Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge is presented with a bouquet of flowers during a walkabout on March 6, 2019 in Blackpool. The Duchess of Cambridge speaks to members of the public as she leaves Blackpool Tower after she and the Duke of Cambridge joined a roundtable briefing about the town's recent history and challenges. Hordes of crowds watched as Kate and William met a few select children on the promenade, though one little boy came over shy during the big moment. William said, "It is a vicious circle and it is how do you break that circle?" Was reaching rock bottom after your brother, what was the realization? Mr. Brown said, "I have had loads of rock bottoms. Most of my friends had died. I had had enough one day in prison and made the decision for the first time in my life to stop taking drugs." William told the pair, "I am so proud of you guys. We will never truly understand what you have been through, but you should take great strength from where you are now." The royal couple also learn more about Blackpool's A Better Start programme, one of 5 such 10-year projects in the UK funded by the National Lottery Community Fund. Merle Davis, the director of Blackpool's Centre for Early Child Development, discussed the impact of long-term investment in mothers, fathers and children in their early years. Meanwhile, Kate and William's joint engagement came as Harry, 34, and Meghan, 37, made a surprise appearance on stage at children's charity We Day's star-studded event in London's Wembley today. The Duke of Sussex made a speech on stage, cheered on by his pregnant wife, who looked business chic in black skinny jeans and a navy blazer. The princes and their wives have had a busy week of engagements, and were pictured together for the first time since Christmas as they celebrated Prince Charles' 50 years of service at a Buckingham Palace reception thrown by the Queen yesterday. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were seen leaving the famous Blackpool Tower as they were greeted by waiting crowds. Prince William appeared particularly intrigued with multiple sticks of rock candy gifted to him, a tradition in most seaside towns. William appeared animated as he spoke during a community meeting during a visit to Blackpool Tower with Kate on Wednesday. Kate opted for a touch of blusher, bold brows and olive eyeshadow to match her green Michael Kors coat as she greeted members of the public double acts. Kate and William's joint engagement came as Harry, 34, and Meghan, 37, made a surprise appearance on stage at children's charity We Day's star-studded event in London's Wembley today. The princes and their wives have had a busy week of engagements, and were pictured together for the first time since Christmas as they celebrated Prince Charles' 50 years of service at a Buckingham Palace reception thrown by the Queen yesterday.